change anyone's life. I'm the Motswako originator, and I'm a South African performing artist. I want to introduce you to 4 South African trailblazers who are redefining success. You're a winner, my friend.
The Rise of Us, a purpose-driven documentary that highlights social entrepreneurs who seek to change South Africa for the better.
I too begin to believe that we can create a better world.
It was all foreign to me. I was like, okay, cool, social entrepreneurship. I know about entrepreneurship, I just don't know what that is. And then they were like, yeah, and that's what we want. We want you to come into this world, and if you're curious enough to want to learn something new and just be inspired, then this is definitely for you. But we think you're the guy. And the timing was impeccable because that's the space I was in, and I was just looking for something more meaningful.
Ghana for Maya ready. You know what time it is.
Much like how the Motswako originator traveled all over Africa to create the One Source album, this project shows us the deep, impactful side of the rapper.
Even though the project feels like way out of my comfort zone and what it is that I do, but let me just challenge myself and do it, you know. So yeah, same thing, you know. I had to go out and meet interesting people with beautiful minds that are doing stuff to change people's lives, right? And it's a business, and I'm like, okay, can you do both? You know what I mean? And that's what I learned from that you can actually do business with a purpose. It's different because, you know, you reach success and you don't know how to give back. Yeah, once in a while you get an opportunity to do like a charity event over there and, you know, make yourself available, you know, perform mahala, whatever, you know. But like what these guys are doing is, you know, I think 100 years from now we'll still be talking about them. You know, it's like, how do you create something timeless that will help generations after generations after generations?
The adventure begins when you recognize the fire in you.
Nice one indeed. Now, Port Shepstone in the south of KwaZulu-Natal came alive as it once again played host to the 11th edition of the annual Ugu Jazz Festival. So hundreds of revelers packed the Ugu Sports and Leisure Centre to listen to some of the country's most celebrated musicians. Take a look.
The festival is one of the biggest events in the town's entertainment calendar, and the crowds did not disappoint as they came in their numbers. Among the performers were some of the country's best jazz and Afropop legends, including Jimmy Dludlu, Ringo Madlingos, Naima K, as well as one of the province's most famous sons, Zakes Bantwini. And boy, they had the revelers screaming for more. The event organizers say they are proud of its growth over the years.
Because the district, then we have these local municipalities such as Umzombe, we have Umdoni, we have Reinkonyeni, which was previously Hibiscus Coast. So it has a very positive, the sense of everyone benefits. The taxi in Boni Amategisi benefits, the shops benefits, we got SMMEs as well. So yeah, everyone benefits from the project. 95% of the people are happy, and the 5% is us, obviously. We bother ourselves. It's abantu ba rights. We always want to make sure stakeholders are fine, artists are figure in time, and yeah, that's about it.
Ngesi added that they look forward to turning the Ugu into one of the biggest jazz festivals in the country. Meanwhile, some of the artists expressed how they felt with being part of the festival.
They never disappoint, and that's we make sure when we prepare we prepare only the best, so that sizothola i-response right. Abantu bajabulile kakhulu bathokozile, sibashayela ingoma zethu abazaziyo, uswithu semncane, zenza the likes of Indipe sathi nje sishaye zonke ingoma zethu hlezi abantu beyithokozela ngasonke isikhathi.
It's our first time being here. We were very excited to be, called out to go to our Zanbafan and Zoenza Lindinla. Totoza sina shout Totoza Isikatamiya. But we have contemporized it, and we called it contemporary Statamia, because we've added our urban sounds and stuff, into the Statamia feel.
And this is how fans felt about this one-day magic event.
The show in that thing.
So beautiful and it's exciting and it's fun. We enjoy being here. We're all the way coming from Eastern Cape and we just come for this show special.
It's massive. It's nice, and we're still expecting some more. Yeah,
we're not satisfied.
And the weather is good today. It's not raining. We were expecting rain, especially from Wednesday. We thought it's gonna rain, but yeah, it's fine.
I really enjoy the show a lot. I've never been to a jazz festival before, so it's very special, and I enjoy that everyone is dancing and having fun. It's amazing.
Organizers say the event is a good initiative as it demonstrates the Ugu Jazz Weekend's deeper cause.
Nice one indeed. So, Soweto-born electro-pop songstress Elo Zah has been at work on her latest musical offering titled So Real, So Real, and she's finally ready to share her labor of love. Now, Elo fuses art, fashion, music and visuals to create a truly one-of-a-kind symphonic experience. Her unique sound has taken her all the way to America, in Texas, where she performed at the annual SXSW Music Festival. So happy to have you here.
Yay!
You've changed a little bit.
A bit, yeah.
A bit.
I mean, a girl is a girl is a girl.
You have to evolve.
Switch it up.
Definitely.
Please.
Welcome to the show,
thank
Elo.
you so much.
And so tell us about this new project. Oh wait, let's backtrack a bit. How and when did you come into the industry for people who don't know about the brilliance of you? People haven't seen you on stage, hey?
Yeah.
It's like a whole experience when a person watches you. Very, very much so. So tell people about yourself in just a few words who don't know you.
Elo, as in like the name, when I became that brand, I think I'm about 3 to 5 years old.
Yeah.
Mara music man kinto italang from khale,
Right.
you either doing it in primary school, in church. It's one of those, and then one moment you're a BV, the next thing you're like, nah, I want to do my own thing.
Okay, so you have been a BV as well, a backing vocalist.
BV,
yeah. I didn't know that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great ground to train on. But I mean, of course, I thought maybe it was another female artist, also. But I know there's always issues and like, you watch and you're like, I could probably do that. I think it's my time to be at the front of the stage.
Yeah, I mean, at some point when you're working at Universal, music publishing, and everybody who's coming in is doing their life and they're being great, doing the same thing that you dream to do.
And you knew that, listen, I have the talent and I'm going to do this.
Start nagging.
Okay, so you took on the call.
Yes.
And you were like, you're going to be a solo artist.
Yes.
And the journey since then?
Yo. I mean, it's just not easy. I suppose it's not supposed to be easy, I think the hardest part is it's more expensive to start out. Like you need to pay for stuff, you need to pay for transport, you need the small things that you don't really think about when you decide to go in. How do you budget? Email. It's a very serious challenge. It's a real challenge.
But it's a necessary learning curve because I mean, if you didn't have that as a foundation, where you take it for granted, where everything is handed to you on a silver platter, it doesn't. The music and everything that you sing about won't have that sense of realism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here you are now, so real, so real.
So real, so real.
I like that. Right? Tell us about it.
Now, in high school, actually from primary to high school, I studied art. I went to the same school for 12 years. Apparently, I've got issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that. So, we, in art, you do art history. You're learning about, Bocherat Sekoto. You're learning about the Picassos and them. And one of my favorite surreal artists, what's his name? His name it's just Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
His work speaks a lot to my life.
Okay.
I imagine a lot. I dream a lot.
So it's real, but it's also surreal.
It's real.
I get
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like the notion, it's a movement, and within that space, I find myself putting my dreams into reality. It's just, just like the paintings, you know, that's Salvador. It just feels that way.
So one thing though about art is that everybody has their own interpretation of it.
Yes.
So are you okay with that for your work? Because, you know, sometimes people box you in and they say, no, she's this kind of artist or that kind of artist, and it might actually hamper your progress, you know, not being versatile enough. But you are very versatile. So that whole element of art meets music.
You know, I think for me, I'm not really concerned about people's definitions, more about what I want to share. You know, that's what I'm more concerned about. The definition in my email as just an African people, you know,
as
already.
Women, as South Africans.
Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot.
I mean, already, you know, when I present or share my music with somebody in jail, almost a thing, you know, one will come back to me, it's like, it's a European sound, it's an American sound. I'm frustrated at that thing, you know, because it makes me feel like, I think I said this in one article, it makes me feel like Africa, Oslo, like, you know, like we don't
always
have,
catch on after it goes all the way there, then bounces back.
But
it's all right. It's a movement, and people will catch on. We are going to see you perform in a little bit. I'm excited about that. Last question: what is it about the color pink?
Like I was saying before, somewhere, I don't know, to somebody, pink is not necessarily my favorite color. Now, because Koskolong, you know, I did art, I was very good at coloring, more than I was. I like abstract art a lot. So there are certain colors that I perceive to have different characters. Some other musicians use notes and color them in their head. So now, for me, it's just a personality. Pink. It's like each color has a personality. And the thing about pink is that it's always perceived as the underdog. You know, it doesn't have aggression. It's soft, it's easy, it's light, it's feminine, it's whatever.
And that is everything that you're not.
And that is everything I am not.
I like that. I like that. Cool, Elo. Thank you so very much for your time. We look forward to hearing, you know, your sound, and we'll catch that a little bit later on. It's a pleasure. So we are off to an ad break. Do come back after this. You are watching Trendz.
The Law Society has slammed notices sent to 4 universities to jack up standards or risk losing their LLB courses. The Council on Higher Education issued a stern warning to the universities to conform within 6 months.
I think it will affect the university. I think outside the law faculty there's a funding issue.
It's been 112 years since Enoch Sontonga died as a relatively unknown composer, choir master and teacher. But today his legacy lives on through his greatest composition, Nkosi Sikeleli Afrika.
For all your news updates, stay tuned to Your World from Monday to Sunday.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rise in the sun, shine in the night. I'll see you. Dream with the birds. This is it.
Nice one from Elo Zaz. So Mo Salm Kadir hosted a stand-up comedy event at the Fire and Ice Hotel in Melrose Arch just last night. The show was headlined by comedian Eugene Khoza, who we haven't seen in a little while, accompanied as well by Simi Arif. Take a look at this.
The food maker, so he has to choose a role, right?
Last night, Samuka gave a platform to comedians Eugene Khoza and Simi Arif to showcase their craft. Fans came in their numbers. The comedy evenings are held once a month, rotating between Men Lane, Melrose Arch, and Cape Town. They are aimed at giving platform both to emerging and established comedians. For any person who goes to a stand-up comedy show, it is probably to have a good time. And these people were not disappointed.
It was a lovely evening out, you know, it was really funny. I think my tummy's hurting now. We laughed quite a lot, and just been here with a couple of my friends, and you know, it was a really, really nice evening out.
Because when he started talking about animals, like, that was amazing. Oh my word.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought Eugene is very funny. He's naughty. He's very naughty. But yeah, he hits it. I was laughing the whole way. There was not a moment of dullness. Yeah, he's awesome.
I swear, the massage. If it wasn't for that massage, who doesn't know the massage? We've all been through it. We all know it. That was the funniest line ever, I swear.
The next show will be held at Mendane Fire and Ice Hotel in Pretoria tonight.
We ruin our greatness with relationships. Let's go together. Go where? Even PlayStation comes with one joystick. Go where? With you.
Okay, so these guys had a whole lot of fun last night, and I'm sitting here in studio with the fun but naughty Eugene. I have Simi as well as Mo. Mo, the Samoka Comedy Nights. Tell us first about the whole concept. It's been a while that it's been running. So tell us about the concept and why people don't know about it.
Well, firstly, I think it's been kept small.
Okay.
I keep it intimate.
Yeah.
So basically 200 people per event. And it's been something that's manageable. So I think my fear of growing into something bigger has a lot to do with it.
But then again, the personalities that you have on stage are so unmanageable and ungovernable. So is it a case of, okay, the personalities giving the show must be bigger than, you know, the actual event, but you want to keep it quite intimate?
That's it. Look, this intimate platform is not something that is readily available, put it that way. It's either the club events or the theatres. There's no in between. So I think I found an in between, and why it works for me is I have a full-time job, and this is something that started as a passion project, I think in 2010.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that ever since. Yeah.
Fueled and fueled. All right, guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
Why are you
Should
so
I be
calm?
worried?
You should be.
Well, there we go. I have two conflicting answers.
I just had to lie to you, though.
Why,
I just had to
though?
tell you the truth because you're too calm.
Okay, well, thank
What is
you.
me? I think a fight is brewing.
Why is it brewing, Eugene?
It looks like a relationship that I'm about to get confronted about something I did.
You see, this is guilt talking. This is guilt, Eugene. I don't know what issues you have. So, welcome to my stage, my show, my stage. You know what I mean? It's been a while, Eugene. Let me start off with you. We haven't seen you in a little bit. You've been, you know, under the radar, but pushing still. You know, you had about 4 one-man shows. We've seen you on television. We've heard you on radio. You've done a lot. So, where's Eugene been? And what's popping now?
I think when people say I haven't seen in a long time, I'm like, maybe I should give people my home address.
Maybe you should. Do you want to?
That's where I am.
Do you want to on national TV?
But I feel like I'm always around. I'm always around on social media. I think people can find out what I'm doing there.
Okay.
But now I'm back with a one-man show called OCD, and that's what I've been busy with now. I was going to be busy with that until the end of the year.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell us about last night.
Last night was...
Were you doing a little bit from, you know, OCD, or was it... Okay.
Last night was OCD. It was a second run in Johannesburg because we did the first run in December. Then we decided to bring it back with Mo this time. And it was fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Simi, don't lie.
No, I had fun. I just want to say, when you guys, everyone, when you come to these interviews, they always ask Eugene, where have you been? And I know the answer.
Okay, so you've been to his house.
Yeah,
are you
but
chilling?
when we go to his house, we are, someone is losing at FIFA. Someone is being dispatched at FIFA. So, I mean, it took a man like 3 years before he could come back outside again because his ego was damaged. I mean, when you're losing 8-0, I mean, you can't just go outside to make jokes now.
Wow.
Your life is over.
No. There's a whole lot of despair going on.
Man.
So you are part of
For 3 years, I kept this man underground.
Sometimes I try to be calm and then people do this to me.
They expose you on live TV.
Because you always lie.
This is the company you keep.
Oh, yeah, I'm in my house. You know, you can follow me on social media. See me there. He's losing at FIFA.
Sure.
He's being hurt. That's what's happening.
Simi, oh wow, thank you. I appreciate your honesty and frankness.
The truth is out now.
I'm here to tell people that the myth is not true. He doesn't stay at home because he wants to. It's because his ego doesn't allow him to see the sunlight.
Oh wow, okay. Glad that, slowly but surely, Mo, you are getting him out into the light.
One thing that I can add is I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I really get to watch.
Sure.
But
you really get to watch?
Very rarely, because I'm
always...
Are
you busy the whole time?
Around,
Okay.
But I got a chance to...
I mean, so highlights from last night. And do you talk about everything, or is there certain...
You know, sometimes a lot of comedians don't like being in comedy mode. And we speak about comedy mode, like, we'll play FIFA, we'll go out, we'll eat something. We spend the whole day together in comedy mode. So by the time we get to the stage, it's almost like, yo, I'll see you now. And then we go on stage, continue what we've done throughout the whole day. And then, of course, we just do it in different time allotments. So Eugene will be much longer than I am. But when Mo says that it's the first time that he really watches a show, it's weird to hear that because Mo also he doesn't make us worry about anything. Because generally comedians have to be everything, the promoter, the marketer. And it's nice just to pitch up at 7:45 and then walk on it at 8 o'clock. And it's that. I think that's what makes comedy mode nice.
I like what you've just said about that whole comedy mode thing, because sometimes you meet comedians like Eugene, and he's very calm and quiet, and you're like, this is not you, the you that we see in comedy mode, you know what I mean? And for some, it's a case of they're funny storytellers, but clearly you live this. I mean, everyone who, if you just Google Simi, and it's like,
we spend a lot of time in comedy mode. It's like, so when you get over here, we're just like, this is just part of our day today.
Okay, fantastic.
Comedy mode is a real thing.
All right. Mo, comedy has become crazy big right now. You know, there's lots of comedy circuits and lots of comedy gigs probably every day of the week, I think. You know what I mean?
Almost.
And the guys are doing a really, really good job. The guys who come to, your Samaka comedy nights, how do you pick them? Are they just hollering at you and saying, Mo, put me on? Or, do you actually have to be a little bit discerning and say, nah, not you? Or what criteria do you use?
There's one special ingredient, I think, is that I've kept it, since day one, I've kept it personal. So my phone is literally my marketing tool.
Yeah.
And since the day I started putting comedy shows together, I've kept everyone's contact details, and I keep in touch with everybody.
Okay. Is it a case of once they're on stage, anything goes?
Basically, with the comics, more or less.
Yeah.
But I obviously choose who I'd want to put together if I do an ensemble show.
Yeah.
And I try to sort of, because I watch a lot of comedy on the side when I'm not doing shows myself. And
okay.
Then,
Speaking about that, do you guys watch a lot of comedy to be better comedians?
No.
He doesn't.
I don't watch.
I watch.
I don't think I've actually watched more than 10 minutes of comedy in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I've never.
Do you find that I don't know, affects how you deliver?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't find a lot of things funny.
Okay.
So I find a lot of people funny.
Yeah.
But I don't find a lot of things funny. So when someone does a set, for example, and I watch a comedy special on Netflix or whatever, I don't find it funny at all because I feel like I'm 5 minutes ahead of the set, so I can't understand what he's going to say next. But I find normal interaction funny.
Yeah.
So that's why when I'm on stage, I can talk about normal interactions easier because I find those funny. But comedy, I haven't watched combined 10 minutes of comedy in my whole entire life.
Interesting.
But he's a comedy boffin.
Yeah.
Okay. You have your favorites, you know who speaks about what,
But I watch everybody, not because I want to get better, but because for me it's more of an academic. I like looking at how people construct it.
You are studying the art of comedy, basically.
I love the formulas, and I'll be like, oh, that's an interesting formula and how they use. But as an influence, I don't think much. But I just like, some people read academic papers because of the argument, and I think I watch comedy because of the logic of it.
To put into perspective, in a couple of weeks, we're going to the Mecca of comedy, which is Montreal. And I'm looking forward to eating hot dogs and playing PlayStation in my room.
Okay.
I am looking forward to seeing Jerry Seinfeld take a joke and dissect
for the first time in 20 years.
Legend. Okay, wow. Well, guys, have fun. Thank you so very much for coming through. The Somoko Comedy Nights happen how often?
Well, it's generally the first and last weeks every month.
Okay.
We are always at the Fire and Ice hotels. So Fire and Ice in Menlyn, Melrose and Cape Town.
Okay.
And then at Rodizio in Bedfordview.
Thank you so very much, guys, for coming through, and all the best, and enjoy Montreal. We have a performance right now. Take a look.
With you, I see what we could be to burst on. With possibility to be free, to birds flying in the sky. So I stare at you out of the blue. And I wonder if I could ever have you. Was it? At times I see deep rest in me. Yeah, I'll bring some cheese, possibly.
If you ask this Irish master whiskey distiller why sometimes whiskey is spelled with an E and sometimes without, he'd say,
Oh, to be sure. You feel so good, look. It's the whole thing. They're back and to get off in the whiskey without the E.
Yeah, didn't catch that. But if you asked us the difference, we'd tell you that every whiskey from around the world is spelled without the E, except for Irish and American whiskies. Cheers. Tops at Spa. Good whiskey, good advice, no Irish accents.
When I was passing the casino, I said, that edge came, said, I'll just try, you never know. You might go home with 80,000, times 4 the amount that you have. And that stupid day, I lost all my money.
Never allow glamorous lifestyles to push you beyond your means.
The awakening moment was that 2007, when I left my children alone. I realized this is hurting me.
Ask for professional help if gambling is controlling you. Know when to stop.
I faced reality that, for you there's no quick reach, so you just have to work hard. So it's gone.
For all your uplifting stories, catch Bupilong every Friday at 17:30.
Hey, welcome back. You're still watching Trendz, and thank you so very much. Elozar just performed for us, and yeah, we still have more performances. We still have a lot to talk about. So right now, I am with Josie's queen of Boom Bap Soul. Melo B is her name, and she's finally dropped her debut EP titled The Start. After her appearance on X Factor back in 2014, Melo has been busy crafting her sound, performing everywhere from Bram to Switzerland, and featuring on work by some of South Africa's favorites. Now, we got a glimpse of her innovative sound. We will get a glimpse of the sound a little bit later in the show. And so welcome, Melo.
Hi.
So Melo B, Melo we do Melo.
Yes.
I like that.
Thank you.
What's up? Tell us about The Start. Tell us about, you know, it's been a while. X Factor 2014.
Right.
You were younger. You're a little bit more naive, not knowing how this music game works.
Exactly.
And so tell us about the last 3 years and the immense growth that you've had.
So the last 3 years I've just been working on sort of solidifying my sound and getting more in tune with what it is that I want to represent as an artist, I guess.
And what is that?
So for me, it's authenticity. It's really important to me. So the genre of music that I make is called Boom Bap Soul.
What is that? I want you to unpack that as well.
Okay,
it's so
no,
cool.
let me break
Boom
it down.
Bap Soul.
So Boom Bap Soul is basically, I'm a soul singer by trade, but a lot of my influences and my performance style and my production style is very old school hip hop influenced, and that's where the boom bap comes into it. So it comes together as Boom Bap Soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so from X Factor, and then there was a trip overseas, and you worked with some really, you know, cool producers over the years. So tell us about your full EP coming together. And I mean, is this the start? Because you had something that you released earlier on, but you feel like you've come into your own. You are authentically Melo B. You're not changing anything. You are comfortable in your sound and yourself, and this is the start.
Yes, definitely. So I think it's titled The Start because that's exactly how I feel it is. I feel like I'm ready to share myself completely with everybody and finally be out there just on an official note, you know?
Yeah. And do you write your own stuff? Do you produce some of your own stuff? Tell us who you've worked with.
I co-produce a lot of my own music. I'm my own songwriter as well. So I'm in a collective called Analog Division, actually. So it's a collective that was started online. We all met from all corners of the world. So it's producers, rappers, and basically what we do is we share ideas online and then we just create music that way. So
and that's the amazing thing, right? I mean, nowadays the global village has shrunk so much just because of the power of the internet.
Yeah, it's
that's
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah, so those are people that I've actually known and worked with for like going on 6 years of my life now. And it's crazy how basically they brought into my life and I know everything about them, but I've never met them. You
Are
know?
you serious?
Yeah,
Till now?
So, till now. So we're still planning on obviously getting that together because it would be amazing.
That is so cool though. Okay, and so what kind of I mean, are there any differences? Are there any features on your EP in terms of the sound? You know, you said it's soul, but you have a lot of hip-hop elements.
Yes.
So is it predominantly that throughout the whole EP? Tell us about the album.
Yes, I think there's definitely a string of that throughout the EP that you can hear. It's a very distinctive sound. And I think it's fun. That's the one thing I really wanted to work on the most with this EP is just making it more fun and interactive, you know, because I do love not only sharing my craft, but letting everybody sort of get a taste of how it would be live or those kinds of elements put into it. Yeah.
And your biggest influences? Soul and hip-hop?
Right. I'm a big fan of A Tribe Called Quest. I think that's my favorite hip-hop group of all time. So that's definitely one of my bigger influences. You know, I'm a big fan of instrumental makers as well, like producers like Pete Rock and Apollo Brown. So that's a lot of where my influences come. Yes, I love Ninth Wonder. He is amazing.
Exactly,
he actually signed my jacket when he came.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
just a few years ago.
Yeah,
I met him too. I was there. I had to be there. I was like, this man, people don't understand the genius of this unassuming character who is so much about the beats.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then, and then on the soul side?
And then on the soul side, I guess Quite obviously so. You can hear it in my music. Jill Scott is one of my biggest influences.
We love her.
Also, I was raised on a lot of jazz. So, you know, the Sarah Vaughans, the Ella Fitzgerald, that also comes through as quite strong influences.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have just, well, today's the 1st of July. We've just wrapped up Youth Month.
Yes.
Where do you think the youth are going with, you know, you being a part of this vehicle that's going forward, being a storyteller, being a musician and an artist, you know, that is documenting basically into a time capsule where we are in 2017. When people look back, say in 2060, if there will still be people on this planet, what do you want them to say about you and the youth space that you're in?
The exciting thing about South African youth in particular is that I think we're finally finding our voice, and we're finally sort of molding what it is that we want to become and being unapologetic about it. And it's really exciting because you can really see it through all streams. I mean, just entrepreneurship, music, arts, it's all there, and it's exciting to see people just become exactly what they wanted to be. So I think that's definitely something that I would want to be a part of my legacy as well.
Fantastic. Your Instagram, Twitter handles for people to get a hold of you?
So it's MeloB_Jones on Instagram as well as on Twitter, and then it's Melo B Jones on Facebook. So Melo with one L.
Okay. Any performances coming up very soon?
Yes. So next week I have a performance at the old fire station in Pretoria. Trendz is having a live performance there, so she asked me to jump on that bill. And yeah, we'll see as the month unfolds. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so very much for coming through.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best and all the success. And can I just say, your skin is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
Flawless. Jeez,
Shout out to my mama.
Yeah, well, you got it in the genes, but you're taking care of it. So thank you. You look amazing.
Thank you so
Melo.
much.
I look forward to hearing your sound in a little bit. That's Melo B Jones. Fantastic. Now, described as Mean Girl meets Revenge of the Nerds, the film The Outcast follows two best friends who have suffered years of torment under the thumb of the school's alpha female. Now, they plan to ride out their senior year under the radar, but when they become the victims of a humiliating prank, the two hatch a plan to unite the outcasts of the school and start a social revolution. Oh boy, check out this trailer, and a competition question will follow, so pay attention.
No matter who you are, high school is the same. It's the best of times. It's the worst of times. Full of wonderful people and not so wonderful people. Zombie fascists! High school kind of sucked for us.
Loser. We know that there has been some bad blood between us, but there is no reason why we can't finish off the school year being civil. Wow.
Law 15, crush your enemy totally.
So, we're screwed. We are gonna stand up for ourselves.
How exactly are we gonna do that? All we had to do was convince the outsiders, misfits, and weirdos of the school to band together.
What you're proposing is like the Rebel Alliance.
Why do we have two sci-fi nerds here? He's sci-fi, I'm fantasy. It's totally different.
But neither of you get laid, right?
Yes!
These files represent the entire student body.
The key is figuring out what makes people tick and then exploiting it mercilessly.
I like you, Virginia. Even if you are named after a slave state.
Let's do this.
You're gonna be popular. We were actually thinking more along the lines of revenge.
Smells like Comic-Con in here anyway.
Found it. Blow it up. Cool.
I will not allow them to roam the halls of this school thinking that they are my equal.
Man, rich white people are messed up.
Wow. Okay, so the film comes out at this weekend at cinemas nationwide. And to stand a chance to win double tickets for you and a friend, special or not, tell us what your thoughts are on social media about cyberbullying and how we can alleviate the issue in schools in 140 characters. So tweet your answers to @Trendz on SABC. And if you can't fit your thoughts into 140 characters, then email your answer. You'll never know. I might just read it on the show here. And the email address is adamsna@sabc.co.za. That's adamsna, as you see on the screen, at sabc.co.za. We'll see you guys after the break. Not a break. Okay, we have Mello who's about to perform. Yeah, take it away, Mello.
We've been a thing, boy. I'm thinking maybe we might, but I just wanna get it right, babe. You reap what you sow, and everything is just right. I just wanna take a bite, baby. Now you're in my zone, you can call it home. Yeah, tonight is home. Say welcome to the pleasure dome, but we're alone. Putting off that phone, moaning 'cause I'm grown enough to please you. I think it's time we take it there, yeah. 'Cause I'm yours, you're mine, you ain't going nowhere. Take it to another level, babe. Take it to another level, baby. Yeah, take it to another level, baby. Yeah, take it to another level, baby. Yeah. I say, now that you're comfortable, let's take it nice and slow. Let your body speak to mine. You read the signs, I'm mine. 'Cause see what's yours is mine, and what's mine is up to you. Yeah. I wanna touch and taste, forget the time and place. Focus on what's next to you.
Africa is getting more and more digitized, and people have to navigate through an increasingly connected world.
I did a call my bay over here.
At school, I use my Wi-Fi.
On Network, we tell you about Africa's technology and social media landscape.
Politicians already do use Twitter a lot.
It's both Android and iOS compatible.
A solar charged box that includes everything, the computer, the projector.
That's Network with Ms. Phumelele Zondi every Sunday at 9 p.m.
Welcome back, and that was the lovely sounds of Mello B. Jones. Now, women are often marginalized and framed by society based on how they look or should feel. And because of this, a group exhibition called What Do They Call Me is currently running at Gallery Momo in Parktown North to address this and other social constructs as women, we face on a regular basis. How are you?
Call Me is an exhibition that seeks to examine the story of naming and language in relation to bodies of women and the positioning of how these names are used. It is through this interrogation that each artist draws from experiences, histories, and bodies that address directly the violence imposed by men and our societies. Odysseus Trendz from the gallery tells us more about the exhibition.
What Do They Call Me is an exhibition that was inspired by what women have to go through on a daily basis in current light of what is happening in the country, the violence against women. We as Gallery Momo curated a show which we felt was very, very important at this point in time, and women-centric show showcasing 5 of our artists that are in our stable and their various disciplines in sculpture, photography, and printmaking.
Through the artwork, some artists try to challenge the stereotypes about black heroine viability in the world and interested in how women's physical presence is controlled by a set of ideas and behaviors. Furthermore, the exhibition engages on the impact that race, sexuality, class, and language has on different women.
The title was loosely inspired by the lyrics from the famous Nina Simone song For Women, how we look at different kinds of women, the kind of names that they have to endure throughout their ages. So that's where the inspiration for the title came from. You know, there's so many names that women have to deal with just walking down the street. They can be called from saint to mother and all sorts of derogatory and also beautiful names. So we wanted to explore those characteristics that women have to bear.
The exhibition opened on the 12th of June and will be on in the gallery until the 8th of July.
Right. Now, South African photographer and creative director Philly Mohlala is a name you need to know. This young man has captured faces of South Africa's most celebrated models with a crisp, sharp and bold approach to photography that has set him apart from his counterparts in the fashion industry. Welcome to Trendz, Philly.
Thank you for having me.
So this young man from Limpopo one day took a camera and the rest... I mean, it's history, though, a continuous history.
Yes.
So tell us about, you know, the camera and your love for it and how you have evolved to be seated here today, wearing some interesting threads as well. I want to talk about that too.
Thank you for having me. Basically, where I start from is back home in Limpopo. So I've been inspired by seeing how different people are being viewed, you know. And then I decided, okay, how's about I view things a bit differently? And for me, that was through imagery. And then that's when I started having the love for photography. And it just took a simple camera and then started taking pictures. And then I
What was your first camera, though? Was it a digital camera? Was it like
yes, digital.
Okay, was it
film?
Okay, so
Yes.
are you very much digital? Because, you know, certain photographers are like, no, they still love film and there's something, I don't know about it, but, you know,
I think
there's
I wasn't born in the era
that
of
time.
film, you know, so I just came in when digital was there. So for me, that has been the love throughout. So that's all I've been doing. That's all I know.
Okay, and so you take pictures of a lot of people. It's a lot of very bold and striking features and angles, and, you know, as you say, you wanted to change how people perceived certain things.
Yes.
And what kind of message did you want to put across to people to say, see it through my eyes, and maybe it'll give you a different perspective?
For me, I don't think it was even a specific message. For me, it was just glamorizing black people, you know, glamorizing the youth, because I think we too often just focusing on the past and what happened back then. But for me, I just wanted people to come out and say, hey, we're glamorous.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
the
for me, it's all
glamorous
about the
people you've
glamour.
met over the years, what have they taught you? What have they, you know, imparted and left with you as the person who has captured their images?
Well, for me, is they always leave something, you know, and I always learn something as I go on and go on. And you get to meet people with different stories and like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling my story through you, but now you telling me your story, and now I'm
Fantastic.
viewing things
Yeah.
even more and more differently.
Okay, and let's talk about, is it Youth Shutdown?
Yes, the Youth Shutdown
Okay, let's talk
exhibition
about that
happened
Youth
on
Shutdown
Thursday.
exhibition.
So I joined DNA Brand Architects last year, December.
Yeah.
And my first brief that Sylvester Chauke gave me was he wants to see a Youth Month exhibition happening. And I was like, phew, Youth Month.
Because
am I
what
gonna
do you pick?
Yeah,
You
so I was
know,
like,
yeah.
and he said, I want to see your best work
Oh,
being
wow.
displayed.
Right.
And we invite the youth and take the messaging out, tell your story, say what happened and how you ended up being here. And I took the brief and I ran with it.
Yeah.
And last week, Thursday, was my first ever solo exhibition.
Fantastic,
Yes.
and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The butterflies, tell us about that. And what were people's reactions? I mean, when they walked away, did they say, were they surprised? Were they inspired? Were they happy?
Yeah, well, basically, it's images that have been produced, like I produced them last year. But the messaging, because people didn't know exactly where I started, why I did this.
Yeah.
But now it was just a matter of me telling my story and seeing my pictures on print. And they were like,
Fantastic.
wow. This is actually amazing.
Thank you so very much. You said you're wearing again, his name is?
Tsepo Tsotetsi.
Very interesting threaded look over there.
Thank
you so very much, Philly. We wish you all the best. And it's the national, what am I saying, national? The Youth Shutdown Exhibition.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, award-winning band and everyone's favorite trio, Mikasa, is back after cooking up some serious heat in the studio with a new body of work titled Familia. The album drops on the 4th of August, but their new single, Nana, released just hours ago, is on a guaranteed climb up the music charts. This incredible band of talented brothers, Moti, Dr. Duda and Jay Something, since day one have lived up to the saying, Mikasa Sukasa, and after almost splitting up, they've put together this album that's an emotional reflection on them as a family and forgiveness. Their launch was this week. It was a flurry of excitement and good food, and of course, the music we've been jamming to since they dropped these streets.
An evening of great food and celebration at Something's Cooking by Jay Something in Pretoria, as urban jazz group Mikasa showcases their latest album, Familia. The band has been together for 6 years, serenading audiences with their fun, soulful sound. But recently the musical trio came close to calling it quits, and the album, meaning family, is the result of what followed.
I would say that the biggest inspiration behind this album was a family that nearly broke up as a unit. We nearly pulled the plug as a band 4 months ago. I think we had just gone through a long time of just sweeping all the issues under the rag, and then eventually it piled up, and we needed to either have a confrontation and try and solve everything or call it quits. And thank God that we decided to kind of fight through it. And so it's a story about a family that fought to stay together. So that's why it's Familia. The project is all about the space that we're in. It's not just another album. It's not trying to get more bookings or trying to get whatever. Like, it's a documentation of where we at as a band, and we've never felt closer. We've never felt more united. We've never felt more vibey. I feel like we're making the best music we've ever made.
The band has transitioned a great deal since its inception in 2010, with their hit single These Streets gaining momentum very quickly and propelling these guys into the public eye. Their sound has taken a few turns since then, but they say they're going back to their roots with Familia.
If you followed Mikasa for the past 6 years, you'd really understand that now they went back to their roots, where everything, like the music feels happier, the music feels more welcoming, everyone is a family, every friend is our family for the past 5 years. So it's that journey that we took like over the 5 years, just to let people know that we're still here, we still conquer, and there's still your heavenly songs, like heavenly song, heavenly send, and then these streets, La Vida, all those happiness type of sound, they're still there, because now we kind of like went out to Eastern African sound too much, and then people were starting to get confused on whether we're trying to copy Nigeria or we're trying to copy, so we went back and we started, this is the sound we're going to focus on.
The evening wasn't all about music, it was also about the delicious food, with Jay Something cooking up some amazing meals inspired by both his Portuguese and South African backgrounds.
The menu I chose and designed and created with my team, Chef Ramon and Chef Yaku, who are my chefs at the restaurant. We've chosen a very down-to-earth, sort of homely things that people can relate to, but given them a little bit of a twist. So from a starter's point of view, we are going to start nibbling on the very famous dish here, which is deep fried mac and cheese, which is an incredible little starter. We're going to have my chicken wings, which are also really wicked. They're Korean inspired, very good. We're going to have cheeky beef, which is 18-hour cooked short rib in a Coca-Cola barbecue sauce, which is absolutely to die for. And then I am presenting a new dish that I have just conceptualized called Mchiniwam.
Familia will be released on the 4th of August 2017, but until then you can listen to their single Nana, which dropped off the album on June 30th, giving you a glimpse of what's to come.
Oh, nice one from Mikasa. So, yeah, if you missed Robin Thicke out in Durban yesterday, fear not, because he is having a one-night-only spectacular performance. Will be supported by Lira as well at the Birchwood Hotel. That's the 2nd of July out in Ekurhuleni. And of course, it is Durban July weekend. And yeah, please have the utmost fun there, but always responsible type of grown folk fun where your lines, as Robin Thicke's once were, are anything but blurred. From me, Refilwe Wakamwilwa, let's do this again next week. Here's Blurred Lines. Bye.
If you can't read from the same page, maybe I'm going deaf, maybe I'm going blind, maybe I'm out of my mind. Okay, now he was close, tried to domesticate you, but you're an animal, baby, it's in your nature. Just let me liberate you. You don't need no papers, that man is not your maker, and that's why